Not right now. A Kenma ex-listener fanfiction. Having Kenma as your boyfriend meant that spending time together would be extra special, since he games a lot. You were proud of how far he'd gotten, especially since he was a streamer as well as a professional gamer. You'd often bring him snacks and drinks to make sure he didn't starve while he was live streaming. Today was another one of those days. You were very bored and Kenma was still busy gaming. You walked over to his room and after giving him a quick kiss on the forehead, you said, Ken, are you almost done? I want cuddles. I'll be done streaming in about an hour or so, babe. Can't you go have fun by yourself until then? He replies. You knew he didn't mean that in a harsh way, but still. You looked at him with a big pout on your face and then left him alone in the room again. Knowing that when Kenma said something like, in about an hour, he actually meant, I don't know when, but probably not anytime soon. You were getting a little bit annoyed because you were really craving some cuddles right now, and Kenma refused to give you them. You decided to make him some coffee and a little sandwich, since it was past lunchtime and the boy still hadn't eaten anything. While standing in the kitchen, you tried to come up with a plan to get his attention. Sometimes it was easier to make Kenma give in than other times. It depended on how much work he'd already gotten done that day. You knew Kenma had already been streaming for about 3 or 4 hours, so that probably wouldn't be too difficult. When you finished the sandwich, you would also come up with a plan. Walking back into Kenma's room, you say, Baby, I made you lunch. You put the sandwich and the coffee down, and Kenma gives you a quick kiss before saying thank you, and refocusing his attention on the stream. You sneak your arms around his neck, resting your head on his shoulder, and just watch what he's doing. After staying like that for a minute or 10, you decide that that wasn't enough. You squirm your body onto his lap and hug his chest. This surprised him, but still didn't make him give you any attention. Okay, so maybe this wasn't going to be as easy as you thought it was going to be. While snuggling with your boyfriend, you tried to come up with a new plan. Even though Kenma didn't show it, he also really wanted to cuddle you. But he knew that he had to stream for another while to make sure he'd actually gotten paid well. With the money he'd make from the stream, he was planning on taking you out to a really fancy restaurant that had just opened up in town. You meant the world to him, so much more than anything else, even gaming and the fun he got from that. You were one of the only people he'd opened up to besides Kuro. Kenma leaned his chin on your head and would from time to time give you a kiss on your forehead. Even though actual cuddles would have been nicer, you didn't mind staying like this with him. It calmed your mind and made your whole body relax. Kenma earned quite a lot of money from streaming and the gaming he did, but always made sure to spend it with care and not waste it. He wasn't the type to show off, so he didn't. You didn't mind this at all, since every time the two of you would go out to do something, it would be extra special since it didn't happen all the time. Kenma's dream was to open up his own company together with you. You didn't have too much knowledge of games and stuff, but he still wanted you to be a part of it. If he could have it his way, he'd buy a company building and let you design it, have you test out games he'd make, and of course, help with stock trading. Even though at this point in time, you didn't understand everything, he'd be more than glad to help you figure it out. That was his dream, but to achieve it, he needed to make sure that he actually got good sponsorships, and that he would become well known so that would pay off for the future. After sitting like that, together for a while, Kenma took off his headset and turned off the computer. Okay, that's it for today. We can cuddle now if you want, he whispered in your ear. To your surprise, he didn't get an answer. You'd fallen asleep from the steady rhythm of Kenma's heartbeat. He gently picked you up and carried you over to the bed. When he put you down, he whispered, Tomorrow's going to be all about you, because even though you're a pain in my butt from time to time, I still love you and want to make sure you know that, okay? After making sure that you were still asleep, Kenma also got in the bed. He spooned you, and not much later, he'd also fallen asleep. When you woke up in the middle of the night because you had to pee, you saw Kenma laying beside you with a little smile on his face. You decided to take a picture of it and send it to Kuro. "I love you, dummy," you whispered in his ear.